Can you imagine a world without sound? For 10 long years, that was my reality. No music, no laughter, no I love yous. Just a profound, unending silence. My name is Alex, and for most of my teenage years and early 20s, I was deaf. People would see me, this seemingly normal guy, and when I'd tell them I couldn't hear, they'd often smirk. Some would even laugh, thinking it was a joke. "You don't look deaf," they'd say. I learned to read lips, to smile and nod, to pretend I understood the punchlines of jokes I couldn't hear. It was a lonely existence, living behind an invisible wall. The isolation was the hardest part. Imagine being at a party, surrounded by people, but feeling completely alone. I'd watch my friends' faces light up as they shared stories, their mouths moving in a silent dance I desperately tried to follow. Family dinners were a blur of expressions and gestures. I felt like a ghost, present but not truly participating. My dreams were silent too. I started to forget what my own mother's voice sounded like. The world became a movie on mute, and I was the only one in the theater. My friends, bless them, tried their best. They'd write things down, learn a few signs, but the spontaneity of conversation was lost. Over time, some friendships faded. It's hard to stay connected when you can't share the simplest things, like a favorite song or a whispered secret. The doctors told me it was nerve damage, something irreversible. I went through years of tests, treatments, and specialists. Each one ended with the same gentle but firm headshake. "We're sorry. There's nothing more we can do." Hope became a dangerous thing. After a while, I stopped hoping. I accepted my silent fate. I focused on what I could do. I became an expert. I excelled in visual arts, pouring all the emotions I couldn't express into my paintings. Silence became my canvas. But at night, the longing for sound would creep back in. I'd press my ear against a speaker, feeling the vibrations, trying to remember what it was like to hear the beat. Then, about a year ago, I heard about a new experimental treatment. A clinical trial was testing a revolutionary gene therapy. The odds were slim, the risks were high, and there was no guarantee. My family was hesitant, scared it would lead to another crushing disappointment. But I had to try. What did I have to lose? Silence? I already had that. So I signed up. The process was long and grueling. Months of injections, scans, and waiting. I told almost no one. I couldn't bear the thought of their pity if it failed. I couldn't bear their skeptical looks, the same ones I'd seen for years. The day they were supposed to activate the treatment, I was terrified. The doctors placed a device over my ear and told me to just listen. For a minute, nothing. The same old silence. My heart sank. Here we go again, I thought. And then, a faint beep. I thought I was imagining it. Another beep, louder this time. I looked at the doctor, my eyes wide. He was smiling, he spoke, and for the first time in a decade, I didn't have to read his lips. His voice, muffled at first, came through. It was like hearing a sound from underwater. "Can you hear me, Alex?" he asked. Tears streamed down my face as I nodded. "Primera, cool, here." The world was suddenly an overwhelming symphony of noise. The hum of the hospital lights, the squeak of a nurse's shoes, the distant siren. It was chaotic, loud, and the most beautiful thing I had ever experienced. The first thing I did was call my mom. When she answered, I just listened to her say hello. I started sobbing. She panicked, thinking something was wrong. Mom, I finally choked out. I can hear you. The silence on the other end of the line was followed by a cry that I felt in my very soul. We both just sat there, crying and laughing. Hearing her voice after all those years, it was like coming home. Re-entering the world of sound was a strange and wonderful journey. I spent a whole afternoon just sitting in a park, listening. The birds chirping, children laughing, the rustle of leaves in the wind. These were sounds I had completely forgotten. Music was a revelation. I put on headphones and listened to all the songs my friends had raved about for years. Each note was a jolt of pure joy. I cried listening to Beethoven. I danced to pop music in my living room. I felt the raw power of rock and roll. Every sound was a gift. But then came the other side of it, the part no one prepared me for. I went to a get-together with some old acquaintances, the same people who used to make fun of me. I didn't tell them I could hear. I just stood there, smiling and nodding like I used to. And then I heard it. I heard what they really thought. Look at him, still doing that deaf act. One person whispered, I bet he can hear just fine, just wants the attention. Another one snickered. They were laughing, the same quiet, mocking laughter I had always seen but never heard. For a decade, I had only seen their smirks. Now, I heard the cruelty behind them. It was a punch to the gut. The sound I had craved for so long was now delivering daggers of malice. For a moment, all the joy vanished, replaced by a cold, hard anger. All those years of feeling isolated, of being misunderstood, it wasn't just in my head. It was real. They had been laughing at me. I walked over to them, my heart pounding. It's funny, isn't it? I said. My voice was steady. They all froze, staring at me in shock. Their jaws dropped. For 10 years, you laughed because you thought I was faking it. Well, guess what? The joke's on you. Because now I can hear every single word you're saying. You could have heard a pin drop. The color drained from their faces. The smirks were gone, replaced by pure, unadulterated shock and shame. I didn't shout. I didn't cause a scene. I just looked at each of them, letting the weight of their own words crush them. Then I turned around and walked away, leaving them in a silence of their own making. That moment was a turning point. It taught me that hearing isn't just about the beautiful sounds. It's about hearing the truth, the good and the bad. It showed me who my real friends were, the ones who stood by me in silence and celebrated with me in sound. My life is so much richer now. I'm making up for lost time, going to concerts, traveling, and just listening. I've started volunteering at a school for deaf children, sharing my story, trying to bridge the gap between their silent world and the hearing one. My story isn't one of revenge. It's one of resilience. It's about finding my voice, both literally and figuratively. To anyone out there who feels invisible or misunderstood, please know that you are not alone. Your worth is not defined by what others think or say about you. Keep fighting for your own truth, Thank you so much for listening to my story. If it resonated with you, please hit that like button and subscribe for more. Your support means the world. Thanks for watching.